What's up, everybody? My name is Ron Empire and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for starting a new character in Core Keeper. Now this is the early access version. In my previous videos I was playing on the demo version. So now that the game has released into early access, a couple of things have changed from the previous videos. So I will go ahead and start a new game. And I'm going to explain all the little details related to starting a new character and why you want to pick a certain background. Okay, first let's go ahead and start a new world slot. Okay, these are my other world slots. This is like my offline play world, and this is my Twitch stream world. So for now, we're gonna do a new world because you guys are gonna be playing on a new world. Let's go ahead and pick like an icon that's associated to your world. So let's go ahead and choose this one as a test. Okay, so we'll call this for now. I'm gonna call this the YouTube test world. Okay, so that I can explain to you the details. Okay, so I'm gonna hit done. And then again, these are characters that I've created. This is my offline character, this is my Twitch character, and you have all these little character slots that you can play with. So let's go ahead and start a new character. Okay, and I will choose done. Okay, so at the start of the game you can go through all of this to I guess decorate or I guess customize your character creation, which is fine. I'm okay with that for now. So we're gonna do YouTube, and we're gonna do a YouTube test here as the character or YouTube character. Okay, so once you get down to this last row here and it says background, and then you start flipping through this and you're like, oh, what, first time players are going to be like, oh, what background should I pick? Because if you're new to the game, all this is kind of almost like overwhelming, and you might not even understand what some of the stuff means, right? So I'm going to explain to you in detail today what these backgrounds mean and what these starting perks actually mean. Okay, because most people, even if you are experienced to the game, I'm going to show you a little trick here that you probably didn't know, because I have not seen anyone actually even mention this as a tip trick for starting a game. Okay, so minor, in my previous video I've actually explained that it's the best to pick a fighter, and that is still the case. Okay, they did add like a couple of new I think character backgrounds, like fisherman or something. I think fisherman is probably the new one. The gardener, the chef is still there. Okay, fighter, miner, and then explorer. Okay, the reason why I say don't pick the explorer, and this is still the case, is that this running skill, you will level up this 3-point running skill so quickly in the game that this 3-point starting is not going to matter. Okay, this 3-point starting mining, you're going to do a lot of mining in the game. Don't pick the miner, because you're going to get this 3-point mining skills very quickly. Okay, the fighter, the reason why you want to pick the fighter is that leveling up the melee skill is very slow. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities to kill enough mobs to get this fighting skill up. Okay, and why this fighting skill actually matters is because it is percentage based, right? One difference that I also want to point out from my previous video, when I started off the fighter in the demo version, I got 3% fighting damage, melee damage. They nerfed that actually in the early access release. It's not mentioned anywhere in the patch notes on the release, but they nerfed it by half, so you actually only get 0.5 for every melee skill point. So you'll start off with 1.5% melee damage at the start. But again, 1.5% is really really big because it scales with the equipment that you are carrying. Okay, so the mining skill is a flat mining damage bonus. It's not, so you're getting 3 points of mining damage bonus, which in the grand scheme of things, over time, you're going to get all these other gears, and you're going to level up this so quickly that 3 points is not that big a deal compared to a percentage, right? This is a percentage damage. Okay, now the chef, this cooking is a percentage, yes, but it's actually a percent chance. And I'll show you what this means in a little bit. Okay, this is a percent chance of getting extra item or extra, crops when you're looting. It's very low. But you're gonna level up this so quickly that in the long run, you're gonna wish that you'd gotten that 3 points in the fighter to start off with. Okay, the fisherman. This is actually similar to the mining. This is +3 fishing skill. It's +3 fishing. Think of it as fishing damage. You versus the fish. This is a flat number. It is not a percentage. And this flat number can also be increased depending on the fishing rod. This fishing rod will have a certain flat number. And this wooden fishing rod at the start of the game, it's very, very insignificant. You're not going to want to use a wooden fishing rod, when you're trying to fish. By the time you're ready to do some fishing, you're probably going to have enough resources to craft an iron rod or a tin rod or something like that. It's going to be way better than the wooden rod. And you don't even want to use this wooden rod because fishing is really hard to actually get going. But you can actually grind the fishing skill fairly quickly doing fishing. So this here, I don't recommend this because even though this is a percentage movement, you're going to do a lot of running where you will get this 3 points like in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game almost. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with, let's say, I'm going to do the miner to show you, okay, what this really means. Now you guys are going to go, well, hey, but you get all this little extra perk items. The perk items, okay, first off, you can always get those and craft those, but I'm going to show you today a little trick to actually get all the perk items. Okay, so you don't even have to craft them in the very beginning. So here I will show you how you can keep the copper pickaxe, the food ration off of it. You're going to be able to keep the amazing hoe and water can. Because I see some of the YouTubers, oh, but the items here are amazing and this is the best starting, character because you get the hoe and the water can. That's great and all, but I'll show you in a little bit how you can keep the fighter percent bonus and also the water can and the hoe. Alright, so let's go with miner to start. And at the start, I'm not going to go through this little intro because you guys can check that out for yourself. I don't want to spoil that. You can watch my other videos if you want to see the intro. So you hold the space bar to skip that. Okay, so now we're going to start a brand new world. And when you first play the game, for those that's new to this completely, and you're just watching this, and you're, I'll explain to you what you should do as well. Just go ahead and start, whacking these things with your bare hands. Right? These are roots. For wood, so when you knock it out, you'll get wood. Right? See how you can just one-shot these things? Just do that. Hit the tab button to craft. Place some torches down to get some light into the room. So if you're carrying the torch, right, using the mouse wheel to roll over or the hotkey, right? 4 is the hotkey for the torch. 1 is for the first bar, right? So 2 is the pickaxe, right? You can move those things around as well, right? Like this, if you wanted to, right? And move items around. That's hitting the top key and manipulating your inventory bar. You can't manipulate it while you're in this mode, but you can actually click on it, but you can't move it. You see how I can't move these? Okay, so you can carry the torch around, and then you can place the torch down on the ground and create some light. Okay, and then you can actually hold the torch in your hand and actually do damage with the torch. It doesn't actually lose durability. the copper pickaxe does have durability, and you don't want to waste using the copper pickaxe, okay, in doing that. All right, so now I want to explain to you the skills. What does that 3 points that you got with a mining mean? Well, you see here it says +3 mining damage. That's what you get for the 3 points. And then the perk here, you get the copper pickaxe, and then you got the food, right? And you see how like this little white bar, or sorry, this gray bar at the bottom, this is the skill progress bar, the EXP progress bar for your next point for leveling up. All of these skills have a max cap limit of 100 points. And when this bar goes up, you get another point. You see how like already running, I started leveling up this really quickly. But the melee combat, you really don't level this up unless you kill enough mobs, and it's very, very slow. But running around is pretty quick. You'll get 3 points of this fairly quickly. I know this is percentage, but you're going to get that 3+ off of the Explorer running skill easily. Okay, mining. All right, so let's say, and I'll show you in a little bit how you can get that 3-point mining fairly quickly as well. So this is the start for the miner, and then if you're gonna go, well, it gets like the pickaxe. That's cool. So go ahead and click on this pickaxe and just drop it to the ground like this. Drop your food that you got from the miner. I'm gonna even drop this off, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go over here, and I'm not carrying anything anymore, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and save and exit. And I showed you basically what it means. I'm going back, and I'm gonna pick the world. The world is the that we just created, and I'm not gonna pick that character anymore. I'm gonna pick another one, and this time I'm gonna choose the Explorer, right? Just to show you that you can actually get that lantern, right? Because people go, oh, well, that lantern at the start is really useful. It gives you like a light radius, right? Okay, well, we're going to get the lantern. This is a little trick that, not a lot of people know about. And so today I'm teaching you how to get that early advantage for creating a new character. Okay, so now you're in the game. Now you're the Explorer. And then you got the little bonus perk of the small lantern, right? And it's here, see how you get like a slight movement speed increase for that 3 point. That really doesn't mean that much, right? Okay, so you're gonna run around, you can level this up really quickly, right? And the other thing that I want to explain to you, okay, is how do I get whatever this is on the side here? This here is the skill tab. This here is the skill tree associated to the skills, right? So you can specialize your character by choosing, or by spending points, and then on the skills that you want, or the talent that you want on this talent tree. Okay, understand first of all that the game has a cap of 100 skill points. Okay, you get 1 talent point for every 5 skill points that you earn, or that you level up to. Okay, so right now, let's say we're at 3. If we get to 2, or sorry, we get 2 more points, we'll get to 5. So 5, we'll get 1 point here, and then you spend that point on the first talent. Now every one of these things have one talent node, so you really don't have a choice at the in the first 25 skill points. You have to spend it on the first node. Once you hit once you get the 5 talent points spent, it will unlock these little additional choices as a branching, and you'll see this light up as a yellow or orange or whatever it is, right? This little notch here that allows you to be able to say, hey, I can either go this way or this way with my talent points spending. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's only 100 points, and if you divide that by 5, that means you're going to get only 20 talent points. And if you require 5 here, that 20 points go down to 15. So now you only have 15 points to spend. And to progress past these nodes, you have to fully spend all 5. So what this means is that you can only get roughly 4 points. You can go here, you can go here, but if you go here, right, you're down to only 5 left to spread out. So it's technically possible to get this whole section here, right, but you won't fully maximize this. So let's say you put 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here. These will light up, okay? These will light up. And then you can actually, with the 5 remaining points, you can divide it up in all of these, right? Or you can actually just go 5, 5, 5, 5, or 5, 5, 5, 5, all right? Or you do 5, 5, 5, and then you can also split the remaining 5 between these two. So that's something that you want to think about and plan ahead when going through your talent. I'm not going to go through all of the talents and every single one of these things, because for this video, I'm just trying to explain to you what the best starting skills are and background, and also the tip is how to get all these items. Okay, so I'm going to drop the lantern down here. Okay, I'm going to drop the food. Okay, I'm going to stand back over here. Okay, and then I'm going to exit. And then we're going to go, back. And we're going to create a new character. And this new character, we did the Explorer. Oops, we did the Explorer. We did the Miner. We're going to come back to the Fighter last, okay? So we'll get to the Fighter. So here, if you're going to go, oh, well, hey, the cooking pot is amazing, and then you get like 8 mushrooms to start, that's great, all right? And I'll explain to you why the cooking skill is not that amazing, because, as a starting point. Because, well, first of all, you can level this up really quickly, okay? And then later, towards the end of the video, I'll show you like my main character after hours of playing, and then you'll see which one actually progresses faster, and then you'll go, oh, well, gee, the Fighter is probably the best. But we'll get there. I'll show you. Okay. All right. So let's say had you created the chef, or the chef as your character, right? The chef is the cooking over here. Okay, look at this. It's great. It's percentage, but it's a chance, right? 0.6% chance to get extra food. As you know, the probability of this being useful in the beginning of the game is just really low. Like, this is almost like useless. 3 points is meaningless right now if you pick the chef, right? But if you've gone with melee combat, you would get melee damage percentage, and that is very useful. That can be applied immediately, and it scales based on the weapon. This here is chance based. Okay, the chances of you getting extra food cooked, you're gonna have to cook so much food for this to actually make a difference. And if you're gonna cook so much food, you're gonna level up to 3 points really easily. You're gonna level up to 5, very easily, because you're gonna be cooking so much, right? You're gonna be doing so much running, so much mining. These things are not going to matter as much, and I'll show you why with my other character. Okay, so then you're gonna, well, the cooking pot's useful, right? You get a cool cooking pot, and it costs a lot to make it. Okay, cool, but you know what? We'll just drop that cooking pot down here, and we'll also, hang on, we'll drop the cooking pot, and we'll also drop the mushroom. Okay, and then we're gonna run over here, and we're gonna exit this, and then we'll leave it, right? And we're gonna go back to our character here, and then now we're gonna go, okay, well, let's get that gardener. I've seen like YouTubers go, oh, the gardener is the best because the hoe and the water can is the greatest starting item. It costs a lot of resources to produce a copper and a hoe. These things are really useful to have. Well, keep in mind also, you don't actually get starting food when you pick the gardening, right? And I'll tell you why the gardening isn't even that great as a starting character. Okay. The items, I won't disagree that the items are very useful to have as a starting perk, right? But this video, I'm showing you in this video how you can keep those starting perk items and still keep the Fighter as the best starting perk for skill, and you get the sword too, because I personally think that the sword is really useful to have over these items. But this little trick here, you're going to keep both of these items, right? So here you get the gardening. You see that? You get harvest chance, 1.2%. The first like plant that you harvest, you're not probably going to get that extra chance of getting, you know, an extra plant, right? It's just really low, 1.2. It doesn't. It's almost like 0 basically, right? You're going to have to do like 100, you know, farming just to even get 1, right? So it's not even worth anything, right? So here you get the hoe and you get the watering can, right? So let's go ahead and stand over here. I'm gonna drop this item. Okay, I'm not even gonna do the fisherman, you know, even though the fishing rod you start off with, it like I explained earlier, the fishing rod that you start off with in the game is not even worth it. So now let's go back, and now I'm going to teach you how to get rid of your characters, okay? Because if you notice, like when you're here, you're like, well, there's no delete button. How do I delete this world? Because if you click on it, you select it, right? So there's no delete button here, right? If you click on this, you're like, oh, how do I delete these characters? I don't want to keep these characters, right? So to delete your characters, go to settings, and the deletion menu option is only available from the settings from the main menu. You can't do it from the settings within the game, and I'll show you that in a second here. So click on the settings, and then this actually is hidden, and it's only available in the main menu, in the settings from the main menu, right? Delete progress options. So here you can delete the worlds, which we're not going to. And then we're going to choose the character menu. So here we can choose delete this, boom, delete that, and delete that, right? Now you can go back and start a new world, start a new character, and then ultimately you can now take the fighter, right? And then click on done. And then you get the 3 points melee damage, or 3 points skill, which translates to 1.5% melee damage as the real starting perk. And you get all the starting perks of all those other characters, all the starting items of these other characters. Okay, so now go ahead and pick it up, right? Just walk over or walk near it. It's got a magnet loot option, right? So look at this. You get all these little perks now, and you get the best skill points in the game, right? This is the best skill point to start off with in the game. Like I said, running, you're going to do a lot of running. See how like I just did a little running and I already got like the little white progress bar towards earning 1 point? And if I spend a lot of time running around like this, I'm gonna hit 3 in no time. Okay, so when you first start the game, as you see here, right, you get all the perks. You get the food, you get the cooking pot. So what do I do with this cooking pot? Now let's go ahead and just place it down on the ground, right? Roll your mouse over it, drop it down, okay? And now that lantern from the Explorer, look at this. You now have a free lantern, right? Now you can use the pickaxe, right? And so let's go ahead and start the game now. Well, okay, you don't want to actually use the pickaxe to do the damage, okay? You want to just craft a torch, hold on the torch because it has no durability. If you're using the pickaxe to do damage or mining damage or whatever to attack this, you're wasting durability. So what I did there was just really a bad thing to do here. Let's just take this off the bar, right, for now. And let's go ahead and craft the workbench, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get that out of the way here and put this on the bar because we're gonna create a chest. So let me place this down on the ground. Let's go ahead and stick that right here. We're going to walk over it. This is how you use the workbench. That's hit the E button, and it takes 5 only wood. So let's go ahead and click on that. Boom. Put that on our bar, and go over here and let's just place it down. Boom. Okay. So now we're going to click on this. You want to store your watering can. You don't want to carry that around with you when you start off the game, right? You don't want to be carrying items in your inventory that you're not going to be using while exploring, right? Those little watering can and hoe, not very useful on your inventory or in your backpack. So let's not, take up space there. Okay, so here, and see how like this gives me 1.5% damage. Okay, and I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna start harvesting, not harvesting, but destroying these wood trunks. Right, and then we got a little seed, root seeds here, right? And I'll show you what to do with that. So here, this is wood that I'm farming up. You see how this right here is growing? So every time I'm doing this, I'm picking up wood. And wood, if you hit the tab button, you can craft a wooden shovel, which is very useful. Let's go ahead and click on that. Right? Let's stick this here, move this over here, move this over here. Okay, this little root seed, I'll show you what to do with it in a little bit. So we're gonna whack this to pick up the mushrooms. Remove all this, and you're gonna get a lot of wood once you start farming them. Okay. All right. So the other thing here is now you can actually start mining for the copper, and I'll tell you as a starting trick. You're gonna want to click on this. You're gonna want to craft a salvage and repair station. Okay, this is very useful. Okay, as early as possible. Before that, you're going to need this, which is dirt wall. Okay, so we've already gotten the cooking pot for free. The next thing that you're going to eventually want to get is this anvil, right? With your copper, right? Because we've already gotten these items for free. So the best use for copper early in the game would be getting this, and I'll explain to you why and what to do with it, and the tip for this. And then you want to work towards getting this up and running. Okay. So let's go ahead and use this copper and go towards this little shiny thing over here. You see that shiny thing? That sparkle shiny means that the ore is buried in the wall. And so you want to go towards that. Okay. Now, one of the tricks here is the progression or how to get copper is that it's everywhere in your starting area that is called the dirt area, right? This is dirt, so it's generally hidden in a dirt wall or sand. Okay, sand is available in almost every single biome. So if you're in a dirt biome and there's sand there, it's possible for the copper ore to be in the sand wall. But copper ores can only be acquired in the dirt biome. So it will either come from a sand wall in the dirt biome, or it will be in a dirt wall, alright? So the thing you want to do at the start of the game is just dig towards the shiny coppers, right? That's a little star sparkly thingy. And here we got 4 pieces, right? So we're going to get 5. And I'm going to pick up this. Okay, and I see another one up here, so I might as well just get that since I'm already here. Alright, so what else is going on, right? So down here, you'll see like another... Let's go ahead and drop this down with a torch. Hold the torch, we get more light. We got that little glow from the small lantern while we were fighting, or mining, so that was really helpful. Okay, so here we're going to pick up some more trees and roots. Okay. You see how like I was already level 3 now mining? How'd I pick the miner? I get 3, but you see how like I got this so quickly? Because you're going to do so much mining in the game at this 3 point at the start. is going to go by fast, and you're going to level this up to 100 way faster than getting this melee up. And this melee 1.5% makes a huge difference once you upgrade your melee weapon. When you get to like iron weapon, this is going to progress so slow though that you're going to wish that you had 3 points to start off with. You know, if you picked something else, because you're going to be like, oh my god, you know, I got like 100 points on this already, and my melee combat is still sitting around like 5 or 10. I'd wish I'd gotten that extra 3 points or something like that early on, because this does not level up as fast. Okay. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I made a mistake and wasted my durability. Okay. So here, when you see something like this, the orange is slime. It's early in the game. You don't want to be walking around on the slime, right? Because if you roll your mouse over here, you're getting a 50% movement speed debuff when you're standing or walking over this, right? So what do you do with this little sand? You craft the shovel, hit the tab, right? This is you're always able to craft this from the tab. It's free. This is like free knowledge for your character. So get the shovel and just right click and dig up the slime tiles. So now you don't have to worry about, you know, walking over those accidentally anymore, right? And then you want to clear this stuff out. Okay, so remember we saw that little orange shiny here over here, this little shiny here. That is an indication that there is a plant available to be removed, right? So now I whacked that little plant there, and I got the seed. Okay, so whenever you pick up the plant, you get gardening points. So everywhere that you see like a plant shiny on the screen, just whack it, pick it up, and then you're gonna level up your gardening, right? So like I said, gardening, you're gonna get so much of that, and you know that also translates to cooking, because if you have a lot of plants, you're going to be able to level cooking and gardening fairly quickly at exactly the same time. So that 3 points that you get like in either of these things just does not matter. You're gonna get both of them by just farming and then using the food, the crop, to do cooking, right? So here, I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna drop down my torch so I can see, so I don't have to, run around blind. I'm not completely blind because I got that lantern I picked up from the Explorer starting perk. Okay, we're gonna just pick all this up, and then we're just gonna grab some of these. And see if I can find something else to show you as a trick. It doesn't look like there's anything here that I can... so the other trick that I wanted to show you when you're exploring and digging up stuff is if you see it on the ground, an X, right? You want to use your shovel to dig it up. It's like a free treasure that's buried underneath the X. It's kind of like, X marks the spot. And right now there aren't any X on the screen. So that's one of the things that you want to pay attention to when you're exploring and you're digging up stuff. Look at the ground tile. See if there's any X on the floor. And I'll see if we can find an example to show you while I'm digging this up. Okay, and I see something shiny over there. Okay, that's not a real shiny, it's actually the shiny from a firefly, right? These little fireflies actually give off light. But this shiny over here is basically where the copper is. Okay, and then here we can pick up the mushrooms. We can pick up the slime. Oops. Pick up these little slimes. And I'll show you also in a little bit how to dig up the floors and what you can do with the floors or the ground turfs. It's very similar to wow, look at that. See, we leveled up already mining, right? Okay, so here I got 5 points now already in mining. I didn't even start off with a mining character. And it lights up yellow to indicate that you've reached your milestone for a talent point. And in the game, like I explained earlier, for every 5 points, you get 1 talent point, right? So here I've already earned 1 talent point. I'm going to spend it on this because I have no choice. But it gives me a 2% mining damage. Boom. Right? And now I'm actually able to do mining more effectively by spending that point. And then that yellow disappeared. Right? So to get another point, I have to reach 10. And this will light up yellow. 10 will light up yellow. And I'll see like a yellow 1 point. And I'll spend that here. So to get all of this done, I have to reach 25 of my mining level. Alright, so here, let's go ahead and pick up all these mushrooms here. I'm going to drop my light. Okay, these are little fireflies. It just gives you free light source. You want to be careful not to kill them, but you can kill them. But if you kill them, obviously you're not going to get that free light source. Anyways. So I'm just digging up some of these slimes here because you don't want to accidentally run around on it because you lose speed. And I'll also show you another trick with the mining in a different video, maybe this one, we'll see, on how to create a slime farm. Well, I'll do it in a different video just to explain to you what you can do with these ground slimes. And how you can use that to get items, free items, or grow a little mob so that it helps you with leveling up your fighter skills or melee skills, or even range skills if you choose to attack the mobs with range. Okay, so now we're just gonna dig towards. Let's see if there's anything here. Okay. So my durability on that copper axe, it's going away. Now in the early access, and you've seen if you have seen my playthrough videos, the durability once it reaches 0 in the demo version, the copper axe just totally disappears, making it really terrible to craft, right? You don't want to waste it. During the early demo phase, you don't want to create copper pickaxe because it was just a waste of copper early in the game. But now that they've released it in the early access version, it's not as bad anymore using the copper axe. And I'll show you why, because they have the repair option now. So we're going to go ahead and just dig all this up. Okay, so now I can't. See, I'm now fighting with my fist, or mining with my fist because the durability is gone. Okay, so what does this mean, right? I mean, I can still continue mining this, right? It's not that big of a deal because I have a minimal mining damage. All right, so what do I do now? Well, let's go ahead and just get this, and I'll run back to the base, and I'll show you what to do. Oh, hey, there's another one. I've already leveled up mining. See that? Crazy. You'll see a little shiny there. We'll get to that. So what we'll do is we'll run back to base. Okay. I'll just drop a little here. I saw a little shiny over there. I'll come back to that. Okay. See how running speed just went up? You see how I'm 3 points in running already? Very easy to level up. Oh, I got some shinies over there too. Alright, so let me mark this. Get a little light source there. Okay, so now that I've gotten my copper, one of the things I want to do is I need to get that furnace, right? So I got to convert this to iron, copper bars. To be able to get the copper bars, you need to smelt it, right? So you want the furnace. So let's go ahead and click on the furnace. And then you want to put the furnace on this bar here. Let's move this out of the way. All right. And then you want to place your furnace somewhere on this, on the floor of your base. So now we've placed the furnace down, hit the E key, and then you drop a couple of coppers in there. All right, and just wait until that's, it's finished. Then I'll show you what to do with it. Okay, and then while that's happening, I mean, you can clear this out with your fist, right? Because you do have, see, I'll show you, you do have mining damage. You start off with 28. I mean, this gives you an extra 27, right? So you basically double your mining damage if you're carrying this. But eventually you can just, you know, punch dirt walls in one shot. And you don't want to waste, you know, your pickaxe on dirt walls later on. But doing this is not terribly bad. I mean, at least you're leveling up your mining. Right. While we wait for that little smelter thing to finish. See how quickly that mining level started growing? Okay, let's go ahead and just click on this. Let's take this out. Okay. And then we're going to go with the table. This is the first thing that you really want to spend your points on. This one. Just get that. I'll put this on the bar. And so the trick here is, and I'll show you. Okay, you drop it down. You click on this. And you're like, okay, well, you want to repair this, right? Click on this, and you repair. Well, it says missing scrap parts. Well, how do you get scrap parts? Well, just take the wooden shovel, click on the salvage button. Boom. You get a scrap part, right? You click on this, and you repair. Boom, it's done, right? And the reason why I say just scrap your shovel, because these things only cost like 4 wood, right? So scraps are basically 4 wood pieces. It's really cheap, right? I mean, you can scrap so let's say, like, if this runs out, I mean, obviously if you want to use up your shovel to its fullest, once the shovel breaks to 0 durability, scrap it. But if you're desperate for scraps, just go ahead and just scrap it and make a new one. It really is cheap, right? So here now we have the pickaxe. What you want to do is just clear this out a little bit and start up your root farm or your tree farm, because you're gonna need more trees right here, or wood, right? So go ahead and clear this out a little bit. Go this way. Let's go this way because I see water here. Okay, so here, see how like this sparkles or shines like that? That's an indication of a fish pool. And usually if you fish over this area, you have a better chance of reeling in fishes when you do fishing. And fishing is not something that you have to do immediately. It's a kind of a low priority. But some people enjoy fishing, and if you're one of those players that enjoy fishing in the game, you can see these are little fish pools that's hidden in the dark, right? And then you can just drop this down, and you can see there's little fishy swirls on the ground. Right, let's go back and we can go towards this and dig up the... Okay, these are little crates that you can smash, right? And then you might get some loot. And the reason why I went all the way over here, I just killed the little firefly that was here. And the reason I went this way was because I saw water on the screen, and I wanted to show you what you can do with that water. Because if you start farming, you're going to need water, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm clearing a little area out. And I want to start up a little tree farm. Oh, let's see how easy that was? I'm already at 10 points here. That's why you don't want to start off with a miner. And I made that first mistake when I started playing the game. I was like, oh, since I'm doing a lot of mining, it's best to have a mining background. No, it's not true. Since you're going to do a lot of mining, you don't want to be a miner background, which is kind of opposite of the thought process. Okay, so here's actually a very large area. So let's go with this area for planting. Okay. Now the thing is, let's go ahead and eat something. Oops. I'm gonna eat all this food here. Okay, so this here is the food bar. This is the health bar, right? The food bar, if you start starving, you start losing health. And it's similar to Don't Starve. You want to, regularly meet up your hunger bar, food bar, whatever here. This is the food, hunger bar. And if you get well fed, you actually get some bonuses. So let's go ahead and get closer towards well fed. You see that? This is a well fed bonus, so you get extra damage from being well fed. That's a good thing to have. Okay. So the other thing I want to point out is this is a sand tile. So click on the shovel, dig this up. Right. If you want to farm in this area, you want to dig up the sand tile out. So what am I going to do with this sand tile? I can actually go over here and swap it with something like this. Right. And if I wanted to move towards that fishing pole, I can place it like this and go towards that little fishing pole. Right. And then I just picked up like two dirt tiles now. I'm going to go back and fill up that little spot. All right. And the reason I'm doing that is because the roots don't actually grow on sand. So if you want to, put a border around the root, prevent it from growing too far, you can actually just use sand as a border around that. So let's go ahead and take our farming tools here, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to place. We're gonna hoe this up, till it, similar to Don't Starve, or sorry, similar to Stardew Valley. If you play that game, you need to till it and make it a farmable plot. So with this root seed, you don't want to actually go crazy and do it all around too close, because it's actually going to grow its roots this way and all the way over here and all that. So you want to put a little bit of a separation. Okay, and then we're going to put the watering can in our inventory. You need to roll your mouse over it or select it, and then you need to water it. Okay, and then you can come back and this will start growing. All right, so we're going to dig up a little bit more over here and give it some spacing. Now the roots won't actually grow where you place your torch. What I kind of like doing is I actually just stick the torch really in the diagonal, because the root grows from here out, and I like that little torch right next to it so I can see the roots. But I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but just keep in mind that the roots actually won't grow where that torch is standing. So it'll grow this way, and out, and fill it up like a plague of some sort, expanding from the root's center point. Okay. So I'm just clearing this up so it has some room to grow the roots. And this will be our tree farm, basically, to get our wood farm. Okay. Alright, so here we will do another till spot right here. That's fine. We're going to put the root here, and we're going to water it. And we're going to just expand this a little bit more. Okay, so down here I see a plant here, and we can go there, get a seed, that plant, so then that way we can grow something else in our farm. Alright, so we picked it up. Grab some of this. Now notice that tulip actually gave a light source, like a light blue light source. So if you place it on the ground, or not on the ground, like in a planter box, like if you make a planter box, there's no planter box right now, but you can actually grow this in a planter box and retain that light source to get like a blue glow. So if you're holding on to it, you see how like I'm holding on to it, I actually get a nice little blue glow. Versus like this, if I'm holding on to this, I get a yellow glow. And the blue glow is kind of nice. It's very cool looking. Alright, so I'm just going to go towards this and pick up some of this. Okay, so this here looks like it's their water pool. So right up ahead, it's probably water. You see that? And it's a fish pool, right? And this little glow right here, that is probably a plant over there, right? Okay. So I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna go back and I'll show you what to do here for cooking. So we have this little pot right here, right? Oh, so okay. So you want to the trick here that I forgot to tell you was you want to just carry this repair station with you everywhere, right? So in case like you're away from your base and then your copper axe just starts going red, right? You can actually drop this down, repair it, pick it back up, because this is always available too. You want to always have wood on your inventory, so that way you can get more scraps and then you can repair this easily on the go. Okay, so so let's hear. So I want to show you. Let's use the shovel here for now and pick this up and see how you can swap it around, right? I like to at the very beginning of the game. That's just me. I like to clean up my core area and just pick up the gray tiles and use my shovel while I have the shovel durability. And I just like to drop things down, right? And I just clean up that little area here. Pick up these little tiles and move them around and redo it to make it look nice again. And so it's a nice little gray square around my core. And then refill these up. Refill the dirt tiles back up. Just because I want to make it look pretty again. Dig this up. Dig this up. Okay, and drop that down. Okay. I'm gonna do this. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making use of my shovel's durability before scrapping it, because I know that I'm going to need to scrap it eventually anyways, just to get the scrap part. And pick this up. Pick that up. Okay, I think that's okay. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what I was going to do. Refill it. All right, so now everything's kind of like nice and square, and I think they designed it in such a way where that was all arranged like that. All right, because there was exactly enough stone tiles to rebuild the square shape for this core. So that's what I like to do when I first start. I mean, you guys don't have to. I mean, you can fill this whole area up with wooden floors if you wanted to, right? So I got running speed. Boom. Got my little speed there. I'm almost to 10 there, and I'm almost to 15 there. Okay. And see, my copper's almost done, and I wanted to scrap this, right? So you still get one scrap regardless, whether it's at 0 or whether it's a full 100 bar. So I like to at least maximize my shovel before scrapping it, and that's what I was just doing there. I'm gonna clear this out here. Okay, so when you first start the game, you want to at least clear out the area around your base to see if there's any lakes or water sources here. All right, so my shovel's gone, right? And so what am I going to do, right? I'm going to drop down the repair station, and I'm gonna scrap this. Get that scrap. Click on this repair. And boom, repair my shovel again. Right, and then just take that with you. Right, so that's what I was trying to show you there. Okay, so the other thing is that this lake right here. Okay, so this is a little water source. So let's say if you wanted to turn this area over here as a farming source, but you don't want to have to like run back and forth to get water because you're going to need to refill your watering can. So either you set up your farm next to the water, or what you can do, right? So let's say if you wanted to, you know, have a farming room over here. I'm going to clear this up to show you. The other trick also is to, if you find a water well, then you can put the water well in your base or next to your farm. That makes it easier for you, right? But I personally like to have like a water river or canal in my base or next to my farm, and I'll show you that in a second here. If you probably have seen it in my other videos for my base, but here I'm just gonna show you really quickly. This doesn't really take that long. Okay. Alright, so what you want to do is just create a new shovel, stick it right here, and then just dig it up where the water is, and see how the water flows? It's kind of like in Timberborn. The water actually does flow and fill the ground, right? So now I'm bringing this water source back to my base by digging up the ground. And the weird part is, okay, so let's say you wanted this area to be your farming area. And I'll explain to you what the weird part was. Is that if you go back and fill up the holes, you'll still get water source. The volume actually just grows. Liquid volume just grows. Okay. Oh, I just killed the firefly there. Once you get to a point where you can just like, you know, do the same amount. Okay, so see how like this is 1, 2. Okay, this is 1, 2. Okay, now you can go back to the torch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it was about 5. Eventually, you're just going to be able to one-shot this once your mining skills go up, or when you find the mining ring. Okay, so now you can just go back and refill this. Right? You can just refill this. But now you've at least brought water back to your base as a water source, and now you can use the hoe and create a little farm. And you get a little seed here. Right. Boom. Okay. And then you can water this. Okay. And now you have your little farm here. I mean, you know, you can make it bigger. You can, you know, hoe this area up a little bit more once you have more seeds to plant or something. You know, if you don't, you know, you can. I'm gonna leave this here eventually because I'm gonna probably use that. But you know, you can fill this up if you want to, right? Like this. I'm gonna eat this actually. Forgot to eat this food. I'm gonna eat all of it. Okay, so you're gonna want to plant all this to do stuff with, and then come back to it. Okay, so this here is already growing. This here is already growing. Let me go ahead and put a torch here so I can see that area. And then let's go ahead and go this way. Oh, I don't want to use that. I want to use the copper. I don't want to use the hoe. So the other trick is that you don't want to carry your hoe and water can with you. It's best to just probably make like a, let's put the chest, right? Put a chest like right here, right? And then just leave your water can at home and your hoe at home. You know, so if you got food on you, right? I mean, you can just store all the food here if you wanted to. But since we've got some food here, we can talk about, you know, cooking, right? Or you can just move your cooking pot too. Bring it closer to where your farm is, right? And then here, what's new in the early access version from the beta is that you actually can get like a cookbook, the recipes here. So I don't have any recipes, I don't know anything, so that's why it's showing up that. But I do have, see how it says can be cooked? Can be cooked. So whenever you get that, you can put it in here and just do different combinations, right? So here, when you first start, if you don't know any what the recipe is, this is the first time knowing, it'll show up as unknown. Once it's known, it will show up over here. And so it breaks it down by ingredients, right? So if you click on this, it'll show you everything that uses mushroom. Click on this, it'll show you everything that's using berry. In this case, you know, we only use the same combination, right? So let's go ahead and take this out. And now we can put in the glow tulip and mix it with a combination for the mushroom, right? I mean, you could have done glow tube versus versus heartberries, but then you wouldn't get as many recipes because it would consume it. So now I have this. So whenever, okay, so here, see the cooking right here? You get the points when you lift this up, or I mean, you get the XP when you lift it. See how the bar went up by another 2 notch? So I picked this up and this up, and see how this already moved up fairly quickly, right? So here, let's right click, okay, takes 1 out at a time, right? So right click takes 1 at a time. But another trick I want to show you is you can divide it in half by shift right click. Whoops. Shift right click basically divide it in half. So here I don't know the recipe. I mean, you could do this. I don't know the recipe, so it's going to show me that recipe, right? So I can take this out. Now the mushrooms, I have, it's mushroom as the combination. So let's say like I didn't, so now that I know the recipe, right, and I stick it in here, you can actually roll over this and it'll show you what the item that's going to be made, right? Because I know the recipe. But I don't want to waste, you know, 2 mushrooms. I want to use mushrooms as my combination, right? So each one of these things have different combinations that merges the 2 benefits together, right? Because heart berries normally is health related, and the tulip is usually a glow bonus. So every cooked foods kind of give you some sort of bonus, and I'll show you that in a little bit later when it's time to actually eat something and use it. Okay, so now my running speed went up. Pick that up. We're gonna go towards some of these little shinies, and then we're gonna want to build an anvil. So I got mining already. Okay, so here, that guy, you wanna use the sword. Let me run away first. Put the sword in my hand. All right, I'm gonna drop this light source down. You want to attack it with a sword. All right, and that's the first mob. Okay, so the 2 mobs in this zone area are the slime, the passive slime, and the aggressive slime. The passive slime does not attack you unless you attack it. And then the aggressive slime, this is a passive slime. It's not going to attack you, so don't be afraid to walk near it, right? Let me make a couple more light source and throw it in here. I'll put this over here. I'll put this over here. All right. So here, like, I'm gonna cross this. I can put this down, right, to get to this. Okay. Let me see what else. I guess I could pick this up, right, and go over here, and then drop it down, right, and then I could cross it, get closer to this. Okay. And dig this up. I think I saw like an aggressive one over there, and I wanted to show you the aggressive guy. See, that guy's aggressive. He's spiky, so that's how you kind of know if he's an aggressive guy or not. And here it's like, you know, all the roots and trees. You'll get a lot of trees, so you know, crafting these things is easy. Like just drop a bunch of torches. No matter, you know, all the various places that you go and you just want to light it up, just drop torches. It's almost like free, just so that you get like a really nice light source. I just don't always remember to do it, but you should try to, you know, pick all that up. Okay, and then click on these. And see how this is giving off a blue glow? And if you remove it, it goes away. Alright. Let's put a light source back here. Let me pick this up. Okay, so this guy's aggressive. Right, so you're going to want to attack it. Right, and then he gives you slimes, and slimes is going to be useful for other ingredients later. Oops. Okay, some nice little shiny glows down there. So I want to pick up some of these tulips so I can get some seeds. See how I got like a tulip seed now from that? You get a chance of, when you harvest this, there's a chance of getting seeds. And I just want to get all the seeds. And then I'm going to break some of these crates. Maybe I'll get something there. Okay. I just want to go back to the base. And then I will now be able to... Oh, look at that. I'm running again. Now, let me just get some more wood here. I don't mind picking up some more wood. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. See? Easy points, right? 10 points easy. That's why I don't pick the Explorer as my starting character, and I don't pick the Miner, because you're gonna get this really fast. But this doesn't level up as fast. It requires a lot of mobs to kill to actually get that up. But I will also show you a trick on how to get more mobs too, because I've been collecting slimes, right? So I'll show you in a little bit. I was going to do it in another video, and I might actually do it in a separate video as well, but since I'm already here, I will show it to you anyways. Okay. So this guy's passive. He's not going to attack you. But let's go ahead and kill him. That guy's aggressive. Okay, and now I'm going to eat some food to heal up. See this here, see that has 4.2 health regen. So this is a really good food item to cook up. Anything that's got the heart berries as the ingredient. Right, so now, coming back, you see that? It's ready to harvest. And if you look at my gardening right here, this little white bar is like it's right there. You're going to see it go up. it's gonna go. It moved up a little bit, by a tiny little bit. Okay. So now I have glow tulips. I did not get a new seed back, right? Because my seed drop was a low drop percentage, right? And this doesn't even improve my seed drop. So at the start, very early on, when you harvest stuff, you might not actually get the seed, right? So we picked up the heartberry, but we didn't get a seed to replace the heartberry, which is crappy, but that's the way it works right now. You want to level up your gardening so that you fill up this talent point here to increase your seed chance to 25%. I think you have like a 75% chance, because once this max out to 25, it seems to be like 100%. On my other playthrough, I maxed out the first node, and from there on out, I'm always getting a seed drop. So I think your chances of getting seeds right now is 75% chance. So we got unlucky picking up that item. Oh, it's going to get water so I can grow these things. But as you explore the game and play enough, you're going to get so many seeds that you're going to be leveling up this really quickly, right? And these slimes that you kill in the slime biome generally drops seeds, slime, and it's something else if you get lucky, like a random item that you can sell to the trader once you get the trader, right? And sometimes you might actually get lucky and it might drop some other gear pieces, but it's generally going to be very low level gear pieces. Okay, so let me clear this out a little bit, and then I'm going to do some cooking. For the other combination. So we have more glow, right? So we click this little glow tab. We only know one thing with the glow, which is glow mushroom, right? So we'll stick one glow here, and we'll mix it now with the glow berry, right? We don't know the recipe yet, or the berries, and then we'll create like a glow berry food item. So now we now know a new recipe, right? So see how that shows up. Wait, oh, it's over here, right? See, so now it's like heart and glow tulip and glow tulip are in heart and glow tulip, right? So it shows you the recipe. This is really useful here because now it gives you glow, it gives you health, and it gives you a small little health increase over time. So let's go ahead and eat. Let's take this out, put this here. So every time we cook, we level up. And see how like both of these kind of like start leveling up really fast? That's why I don't like taking the gardening or the chef. So here I'm just going to eat this. And I'm going to get a little nice glow now as a buff around me, right? I'll glow for 2 minutes. And then I get the little healing, right? For 20 seconds. And that max health. So it's really nice to have something like this by your base very early on as a water source. And you just drag in like a river here, and then you just recover it up. So that's a nice little trick there. And let's go ahead and check back on our root planting thing here. See how that started growing? Now you can actually just whack these, right? And you just leave the plant there. And then you now have a nice little tree farm. So we'll do the same thing again over here. I forgot to bring the hoe. Let me get that hoe back out. Let me just go slam through this. Okay, let's pick up the hoe. And then, now that we have another root seed, we can do this. And then we'll just clear this out so we can grow, or have more space to grow the roots. Now I'm leaving this here to to show you that, well, we might not be able to show it to you on the stream here. Okay, so now that's gone. What are we going to do? We're going to salvage this. Put this over here. Drop the table. Click on the E. Now we don't have any scraps, so we're gonna scrap this. All right, now we have scrap. We can click on this. We're gonna repair our pickaxe. Put that pickaxe back up. And then we're gonna take that table back with us and carry it around. Okay. So another trick too is that let's say your inventory bar is all filled up. You need a little extra space. You can actually stick stuff over here if you wanted to. And that's a little free extra space. So long as you don't hit the trash button, you're not going to lose the item here. So technically, this is actually a free slot. So if you ever need like a free slot, you can temporarily stick it over here and free up the spot. So that's another little tip for you there. And I'm going to grow that. So I have nothing else left to grow. Okay, so what was my other little tip trick that I was going to show you? Okay, well, let's go ahead and see here. To grow that, I need 10. And this one, I need 8, right? So let's go ahead and burn more copper. And then we're going to take all this out. And we're going to get that anvil. So the other thing that you want to do with your copper bars, besides this, is get a copper anvil. Try to get that early in the game. I forgot to do that earlier, even though I already had the ores for it. So early in the game, you can craft wooden armor pieces, right? This would be really helpful because remember how that little mob almost like took us down. So here you want to just craft this early. It's practically free. There's no reason not to, right? And then you can always salvage it, right? You using a salvage station, turn these into scraps that you can later use to repair your pickaxe or sword or new armor or whatever, right? So now I have more damage, more armor, and more health. My health bar went up, so I need to eat something to replenish that health. So let me go ahead and eat that. I'll glow, and it'll give me health, right? So that was the other thing I wanted to point out to you, was craft this as the next item. This is the first item, this is the second item, then craft some gears to carry. And now the progression in the game would be to get the tin workbench. So where do you get tin, right? And tin, generally, you're going to have to, well, you can hit the M key here to get the map. And the map is transparent, so you have to like kind of zoom out a little bit and move into like an area that you can kind of see their stuff. So right now, all this area here is going to be dirt, and you're going to only get copper. So where do you get tin? Well, you're going to have to either explore straight up north, straight up east or west, or south, because and it's going to be random. This is a procedurally generated world, so your north clay area is not going to be the same as my north clay area, or let's say if mine is up here, it's not going to be the same for you. It might be over here somewhere. So you're going to start wanting to go one direction or the other direction and look for a pinkish area, and it's called the clay biome. And you'll know because it's a soft, well, relatively soft enough wall that you can break. If you hit the lava biome, which is usually mixed with the clay biome, you're not going to be able to penetrate that unless you have like an iron pickaxe. It just will take you forever to dig up. So the next progression is saving up enough, or trying to get the tin bar, and then have enough copper. So here, everything is generally done in terms of copper stuff. Now that I have enough copper, I mean, you can probably craft these things. Right? Once you craft these things, you don't really need to worry about crafting anymore. Okay. Oh my goodness, I hear like the maintenance doing the noise. So I have enough iron bar. I should probably craft this because there's really no other use for iron right now in the game. The other thing that you want to have a lot of on hand are the wooden bridges. Right, so take that with you. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of my, what to do early on in the game. And hopefully that you guys found this video to be really useful. Alright, and then we're going to save this and go back. And that is pretty much it. So if you really enjoyed this video and you found it useful, be sure to subscribe. It would really help me out hitting that subscribe button. Okay, and then until next time, I will see you guys later.